Alright, so we go talk about regular expressions. So what's regular expressions? So let's look at sometime when you're writing a code, you want to check whether the input is matched. You want to validate input. Like for example, if it has the lowercase letters included in the password, if it has uppercase included in password, right? Or number and special characters, or is this the format of social security number? Right, so we learn how to read in input, right? So now we need to validate it. Or like example that we do on our 2.2, when you read in input, you want to delimit it by comma. You can also delimit it by something else by using regular expressions. Alright, so like for example, in our 2.2, right? So you can actually use pattern.compile. This is going to be a pattern for regular expressions, which when you look at regular expressions, we have what we call OR, right? So you can use comma first, and then you use the bar. So let's see if we have the table. Let's double check. Like there, right? The pattern can be A, B, or C, D, right? By using the bar here. So it can be OR, right? Or someone say at the end, which is, if I run this, I'm going to put in 3 numbers, 1, 2, 3. So it can delimit it either or at the end, right? It's going to give you the sum, right? So let's run again. Let's test 10, 20, 30. Now, when you do that, it looks like it actually, if you do that, it's actually not taking the whole, because it's thought that it's going to delimit, right? So if you do, what's the escape sequence for enter /R, right? 1, 2, 3, enter, right? So because that's enter, right? Escape sequence, right? Either comma or enter. So that's the regular expression that we're using here, right? 10, 20, 30, right? So that's the regular expressions that at the end, which is enter. Now, if you start to look at regular expressions, we're gonna come back, right? So we at least we understand a little bit why do we need that. Because if you don't use regular expression here, you can't really read this without comma delimiter at the end, right? It's going to give you the error, right? Like it doesn't work. It's waiting for the comma. So that's why we need the regular expression to help. You're gonna match delimiter at comma or at the enter key at the end, right? $10, $20, $30. That's regular expressions. Okay, then you can do either comma or something else, which is enter key at the end, which is /R, escape sequence that we learned, right? So now that is regular expression. Now let's look at something else about regular expression. It stands for Regex, right? It's just a string that describes patterns for matching a set of strings. It's a powerful tool for string manipulation. You can use for matching, replacing, or delimiter that we look at, and splitting strings, right? So matching could be, I want to see if Java actually matches that Java. Okay, so you may see this start to talk about strings. Okay, so in strings, we already know that we're dealing with strings. String has a class too, right? String class, we want to look at the Java doc, right? So string has, when you look at Java doc, we can look at the methods. One of the methods we see is called the many methods, right? Just like scanner that you have learned. We have matches. Tell whether or not this string matches the given regular expressions. You see, this is the regex that's looking for. So let's say, for example, okay, I'm going to create the new class. This is going to be your 2.4. And we're going to learn how to use string a little bit, right? The method of string, just like we learned how to use the method of scanner in 2.3, right? And so on, like next bytes, next in. Now, string regex, and we're going to learn how to use regular expression at the same time. So I'm going to create the main, right? And we're going to say, okay, subject as a variables, and it's a Java. Alright, so I can say, if I do system.out.print, so I give the values Java to the variables named subject, right? And I want to use the method. Remember, this is a string. When you do dot, you have an access to method, right? Subject dot matches, and this is the regular expressions, which could be the string itself, which is Java, right? So this one is a Boolean, right? It's a Boolean, like means data type is going to return either true or false back. So if it does match, it's going to print true right there, right? This is matches. If it doesn't match, let's see, lowercase, false, because case sensitive, right? So that means I can use a simple if, right, instead too, because this whole thing return true or false, right? So I can actually just put it inside. So let's talk about if else. Syntax if else is pretty simple and easy. So in Java, when you're dealing with conditions that has to evaluate through Boolean, like this is the expressions. It can be any expression that give you true or false, right? Expression has true or false. So we open with curly braces and close with that. If it's true, it's going to do the true statement. Okay? Alright. So we're going to learn the simple one. So that means if it's true, we can just say something that you want, like this is a Java. Okay? Because it's going to return true here, right? It's not true, right? Because it doesn't match, so it's not going to show anything. Now let me make sure it's true by its case sensitive. So it's return this is a Java instead of just say true, right? This is a Java and this is a subject, so I'm going to say subject. Now, if I put something else, right? Let's say if it's not Java. So now, if it's not Java, I can say subject is C++, okay? Then I can do another if, right? Just copy this. If, right, same, matches C++, this is a C++, okay? So let's run this. Does it matches? Run again. So C++ subject. It seems like it doesn't match. Let's see why, right? So let me just take ++ out. Okay, this is a C++ subject. Now, this could be because regular expressions. Let's come back to regular expressions. So we gotta use matches or equals. Now, when you talk about case sensitive, like if you use equals, it's also look at lowercase, uppercase. But if you say equals ignore case, then it's not going to worry about lowercase, uppercase. Okay. Now we want to look at plus. There is a plus right here. So it means one or more occurrences of pattern P. Right. So what does it mean? A matches A plus B asterisk, like able matches. So P is a pattern, right? So it's looking for one, at least one what? 1A, right? If it's asterisk, that means 0 or more, right? Or 0B, that's fine, or more B, right? So let's look at an example. We were doing like C plus, right? So that means it's looking for one or more, right? So in this case, I'm going to put subject as C, but this is a regular expression, right? C plus, right? This is where we use regular expressions. So it still works because it has one letter C, right? One or more. So if I have 2, 3, 4, one or more, it should work, right? Because it matches the regular expressions. Plus, that means you can have at least C. Now, if I don't have any C, nothing, it should not print anything, right? Now, if I happen to change this to asterisk, asterisk say 0 or more. 0 or more. If we run this, it still matches because this means 0. 0C is fine, right? So that's why it's or more C, right? If I have more C. So it's still going to say right there instead of doing Java, right? So this could be the regular expressions. So that's why when we try to do C++, right? I mean, let's do C++ down here first. This should work, right? Because one or more, right? Of C. But when I do subject, it's looking for one or more C. Okay, let's see if I do just this. Now we try to make it to function with C++, right? So let's see how we're going to do that. We have to review from the beginning again, right? So when we specify exact characters, we just look